Welcome to the True Alien Podcast. Ready for today's paranormal probe?
Let's do it.
We dive into true stories. Aliens, UFOs, Bigfoot, you name it. All the weird stuff, but we try to keep it fun.
And today, it's a good one. We're connecting, trying to connect, two big paranormal hitters.
Crystal skulls and the Roswell memory medal.
Yeah, it sounds a bit out there, doesn't it?
It does, but we've got sources looking at the lore, the legends around these skulls, supposed ancient Mayan things, maybe.
And then sources on the Roswell crash back in '47, the materials they supposedly found.
Exactly. So our mission, let's call it, is to see if there's maybe, just maybe, some kind of link between these two very different bits of high strangeness.
Right. We'll dig into the myths, the reality checks from science, what the witnesses actually said about Roswell.
And yeah, even some of the more, let's say, creative theories floating around.
The goal is really to help you get a handle on what these mysteries are all about, maybe see if there's a thread, without getting lost in, pure speculation. So, crystal skulls first. Where do we start with those? They're kind of iconic.
Yeah, iconic is the word. The myth is huge, right? These aren't just quartz carvings in the stories.
No, not at all. They're supposedly ancient, Mayan, Aztec. Some even say Atlantean.
Created with tech we can't even imagine. Holding cosmic secrets.
Yeah.
Psychic powers.
Healing, killing. You can use them for scrying, apparently. The whole mystical package.
And the famous one is the Mitchell Hedges skull. The story goes, Anna Mitchell Hedges found it in Belize. Very dramatic discovery.
Although there are other accounts suggesting, maybe it was bought at an auction. Less romantic, perhaps?
Always the way, isn't it? The thrilling find versus the slightly more mundane purchase.
Yeah.
But then science weighs in.
Right. The British Museum, the Smithsonian, they brought out the big guns, electron microscopes and all that.
And what was the verdict? Did they find ancient alien tech?
Well, no, not quite. The analysis strongly suggested most of these famous skulls were carved much more recently.
Like how recently?
Probably 19th century. And likely in Germany, using jewelers' tools that were, pretty standard for the time.
So modern techniques, not lost ancient arts. What about the weird energy people report feeling?
That's likely something called the piezoelectric effect. Quartz naturally does. That generates a little electrical charge if you squeeze it or stress it. It's known physics.
Okay, so scientifically, the case seems kind of closed. 19th century German carvings, piezoelectric effect, done.
You'd think so, but the belief persists, doesn't it? People still claim these skulls have strange powers.
Yeah, why is that? If the science says no, why do people keep reporting experiences? Healing, visions, that sort of thing.
That's the million-dollar question, really. Is it just mass delusion, a really powerful placebo effect? Maybe people want to believe so much.
Or is it possible the scientific tests missed something? Maybe focusing only on age and tool marks doesn't capture the whole picture.
It's possible. Or maybe the power lies in the story itself. The human desire for ancient wisdom, for something magical that keeps the myth alive, regardless of the physical object. The persistence itself is interesting.
That makes sense. The story's compelling. Okay, let's shift gears completely. Roswell, New Mexico, July 1947.
Ah, yes. Rancher Mac Brazel.
Fine, though.
Something weird scattered across his field.
And the local Army airfield puts out this bombshell press release, flying disc captured. Can you imagine?
For about 5 minutes, yeah. Then whoops, backtrack. It was just a weather balloon, nothing to see here.
The classic weather balloon.
Yeah.
But the people who were actually there, the initial reports,
Yeah.
they described something very different, especially the material.
Absolutely. You've got key witnesses. Jesse Marcel Sr., the intelligence officer, was one of the first on the scene. His son, Jesse Marcel Jr., later recalled what his dad showed him. Sheridan Cavett, Bill Brazel, even Frank Kaufman, though his testimony is a bit controversial.
And what did they say they found? What was this stuff like?
Consistently, they described this thin, metallic foil, super lightweight, but incredibly tough.
And the weirdest part.
The memory aspect. You could apparently crumple it up tight in your hand, and when you open your hand, it would just smooth itself out, perfectly flat again. No creases.
Self-repairing foil in the 1940s. Okay, that's definitely not standard weather balloon equipment. Anything else?
Yeah. There are also these small beams, like tiny I-beams, again, incredibly light, but witnesses said they were impossible to bend, dent, or break.
Couldn't even scratch them.
Some reports claim they tried cutting them, burning them. Nothing worked, just completely resistant.
Wow. And there were markings too, weren't there?
Yes, Marcel Sr. specifically mentioned strange symbols on the inner surface of some I-beam fragments, purplish, maybe pinkish hieroglyphs, but like nothing anyone recognized. His son remembered seeing them too.
Unbreakable beams, memory foil, unknown symbols. It really paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No wonder people didn't buy the weather balloon story.
And then you have the reaction from the military. Swift, decisive.
The alleged cover-up.
Exactly. Collecting all the debris immediately. Witnesses reporting they were told, sometimes quite forcefully, to forget what they saw or to change their story.
And the photos. The ones with General Ramy showing off balloon wreckage.
Yeah, the accusation is that the real debris was swapped out before those photos were taken, that Ramy was holding wreckage from an actual weather balloon to sell the story.
It's a compelling narrative. Why do you think Roswell specifically still holds such power after all these decades?
I think it's partly the credibility of some initial witnesses. Military guys, trained observers, describing materials that just defied 1947 physics.
Right, these weren't just random folks.
No. And add to that the speed and intensity of the official denial, the change of story, the alleged intimidation, plus the consistency in the descriptions, especially of that memory metal from different people. It all suggests something unusual happened that warranted a significant cover-up.
Okay, so we have the crystal skulls, maybe not ancient, but with this persistent aura of power. And Roswell, a modern event with tales of impossible materials and a cover-up. Where's the potential connection? This is where it gets spectacular.
Cliff, yeah. This is definitely connecting dots that are far apart. But could there be a link in the type of phenomena described?
How so? One's quartz, one's weird metal.
True. But think about the reported functions. Skulls allegedly storing or focusing energy, maybe information. Roswell metal reacting to stress, returning to its shape like it has a built-in structural memory or energy state it defaults to.
So you're saying maybe there are different applications of some underlying principle, a way of manipulating matter or energy we just don't get.
It's a hypothesis, right? Maybe non-terrestrial science focuses heavily on energy manipulation and structural integrity in ways that seem almost magical to us.
Even though the materials seem totally different.
Perhaps the composition isn't the point as much as the structure. Think nanotechnology, maybe. Or engineering things at the atomic level.
So the skull's energy isn't magic, but maybe a property of a super precise, maybe not entirely natural crystalline structure.
Could be. And the Roswell metal's memory isn't just weird metal, but maybe a material programmed, atom by atom, to maintain or return to a specific energetic or structural state.
Focusing on function. Information energy handling for skulls, resilience shape memory for the metal, different uses of similar advanced principles.
That's the idea. It requires looking beyond our current understanding of material science. It's a stretch, definitely. But when you're dealing with high strangeness, sometimes you need to stretch your thinking.
Okay, looking at both these stories, what kind of broader takeaways pop out? What lessons can we pull from this weird comparison?
Well, lesson one, maybe, comes straight from Roswell. Question authority. Or at least be aware that official stories can sometimes obscure things, especially when dealing with the unknown or potentially disruptive truths.
The weather balloon defense definitely set a precedent, didn't it?
It really did. It showed a willingness to deploy a simple, dismissive explanation, regardless of witness testimony.
What else?
Lesson two might be about the limits of our own science. The reports from Roswell, if even partly true, suggest materials that just shouldn't have existed then. And the enduring fascination with skulls, even fakes, points to properties or ideas about matter and energy we might not fully grasp yet.
So maybe our physics textbook is missing a few chapters.
Could be, or at least we haven't figured out all the ways the existing rules can be applied.
And the skulls, even if they are mostly 19th century creations.
That leads to lesson three. The power of myth is real. Even if debunked, the crystal skull legend taps into something deep in us, a yearning for lost wisdom, ancient connections, maybe just a bit of magic in the world. The story itself has power.
So wrapping this up, we've got skulls, possibly fakes but with powerful legends, and Roswell metal, possibly real but shrouded in secrecy. Any final thought to leave us pondering?
Yeah, think about this. One mystery tied to the ancient past, even if fabricated. The other crashing into our modern world in 1947. Could they be, like, different sides of the same coin? Different manifestations of a technology? Or maybe an understanding of reality that's way beyond us? Even if the skulls aren't truly ancient artifacts, maybe their enduring mystique highlights that deep human need to connect with something bigger, something unknown. And perhaps Roswell is what happens when that unknown literally falls out of the sky.
So the real link isn't necessarily physical material.
Maybe not. Maybe the link is how both these things fire up our imagination, how they challenge our neat little boxes about history, science, and what's actually possible in this universe. They force us to ask bigger questions.
A lot to chew on there. Well, that's all the time we have for this particular paranormal probe, connecting those crystal skulls and the curious case of Roswell's memory metal.
We definitely encourage you to keep digging into these mysteries yourself. What stands out to you? What connections did we miss?
Let us know. And join us next time on the True Alien Podcast for another exploration into the weird and unexplained.
Until then, stay curious.
Yeah.
Seriously. And maybe, pay attention to any shiny objects you find lying around. You never know.